All right, I guess I'll delve into some Doctor Who rumors about a season of Doctor Who that I'm more than likely not going to watch. I will watch the festive special, never mind what holiday it's celebrating. That's too offensive. But beyond that, I just don't know. After sitting through that last season, phew. Anyway, so a few little tidbits here, and I'll judge these based on the likelihood that these have. Of course, they are rumors, which means they could be total nonsense, or could be somewhat exaggerated, and that some part of it's true and some part of it's not, and that sort of thing. So, a new Doctor Who rumor claims Jodie Whittaker's Doctor will come out as bisexual. That doesn't really surprise me. The Doctor has overwhelmingly preferred female companions, and yes, I know Classic Who never really had romantic stories, but you know. And then New Who definitely did. I mean, obviously Rose Tyler. And then there was, some insinuations about Sarah Jane there. She says, I waited for you. What was she waiting for? and all of that. And I've covered that in other videos and my own opinions on that. And certainly in reviews of Classic Who, which is ongoing. Yeah, I just did The Power of Kroll. Yeah, check it out. Anyway, it stands to reason that you have this case here with the Doctor who's been a man all this time, then regenerates into female form, and what would be her romantic interest after all that time? I think it would still be women, and so there you go. Now, there had been rumors that there might be a romance developing between Jodie's Doctor and the character of Yaz. The problem with that is that you've had 2 seasons and they haven't developed much of anything. Certainly, if poor Yaz gets almost nothing, and people say she just can't act, well, how do you know? She's got nothing to work with. So that's the problem, where you haven't developed things that could give you hints that there's an interest between the two. And all of that. At this point, it would be something quite shoehorned in, and that's just laziness on the part of the writer. And as far as there was a scene where the mom insinuated that we might got a clue that Yaz is either bisexual or lesbian herself, and so there you go. It opens the door for it, but they didn't do anything with it. So there you go. So apparently the story would involve the Doctor meeting Marilyn Monroe, and there were rumors and stuff that Marilyn Monroe kind of fooled around, and I maybe she did, I don't know. And then there's some sort of a romantic flirtation or what have you going with the Doctor, and suddenly the Doctor discovers, you know what, I really like women. I don't think any of that would be necessary. But and maybe after that she takes an interest in Yaz. I don't know. But I don't really care about this that much. Some people are upset about it. It ultimately would be upset that they don't think any romantic storylines with the Doctor should have been introduced in Doctor Who. But it's kind of too late. I mean, I guess they could move beyond it and just not do it again. But, the Rose Tyler story happened, and so, there you are. So I don't really care. It's just the bigger problem for Doctor Who is they don't know how to plot, they don't know how to write stories, and they don't know how to develop the characters, and they don't take advantage of possibilities within the story. You insist on a female Doctor, and then you just ignore it. I mean, that's stupid. And the whole element of regeneration could have been a story, but you didn't do that. It could have been establishing things about hey, how come the Doctor regenerated into a woman all of a sudden? Well, the Doctor keeps regenerating all the time, which, I don't like the explanation as to how that happens. That's Timeless Child is terrible, just awful. It doesn't open up for news stories. It just messes everything up. But if it would stand to reason that the explanation could be as simple as you keep regenerating like that. And we all come from a mommy and daddy, so therefore the female DNA is in there somewhere, and sooner or later it's going to manifest. And so, but that would pretend that it's kind of a rare thing. So the likelihood that Jodie's doctor would regenerate into a woman might be a bit smaller, but certainly, maybe one more time or whatever, and then it's going to be men again. But of course, depending on what your political agendas are at that time is all that really matters. So it's all tokens and everything. I mean, none of that is Jodie's fault. She's just an actress who wanted a job, and I'm going to get my name out there and all of that. But so they squandered all of that, and that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. And Chibnall clearly just wasn't up to the job, and I don't think he even cared. He's just a BBC yes man. So the rumors, of course, come from TARDIS on YouTube. Subscribe. He brings in these little bits of information here and there, and of course points out it's rumor and speculation because there's a lot of people out there who don't understand the meaning of those terms. And this guy Noel, he gets stalkers and stuff who hate him and all that. And it's not always silly or funny. It got pretty serious here and there, and that's unfortunate. So head over there and give him a subscribe and keep up with that guy's big-time Doctor Who fan. So yeah, bisexual stuff. It seems likely, and it has a certain logic to it. Based on the doctor's past. Now, this business that Jodie's doctor will apologize for past mistakes because she was male. You don't fight sexism by being sexist. And that's all they want to do with this doctor. And that's a terrible thing to do. And so that would be just awful. But could it be? Yeah, it could. The Suntarans being non-binary, well, yeah, they're a clone species. Although this article says they did have two genders, I don't recall that. Perhaps New Who did mention that. I kind of just blanked out on the whole Strax and, hanging with the two ladies, the Silurian and her wife and all that. And they became just more and more stupid as time went on. I mean, there were ninjas and stuff. Just come on. And Strax, I know people thought he was funny and cute and everything, but it wasn't for me. And, maybe one episode, fine, but good Lord. And then the Suntarans, they're just silly jokes at that point. I mean, they always look kind of silly. But anyway, they're this clone species that clone their warriors over and over again for their army and their war against the Routons and all that. But maybe they've established now that, they did have female versions of them, but they just didn't think they made good soldiers, so I don't know. So they want to hire a trans actor and a non-binary actor as companions. I don't know if that means the characters, but they said trans actors, so I guess the actors will actually... Yeah, that's the rules these days. You can't just play someone trans. You actually have to be trans. So, yeah. Of course, nobody's actually a Time Lord, so I don't know how they work that out. And no one's actually a Suntaran, so, man, you can't do anything. So, of course, they want to do that just to say, see, look what we did, Of course, they'd already had a trans actor play this character, so it's like, you already checked the box, didn't you? I don't know. A multi-master story, so they'll have, the 4 or 5 masters or something like that. They've only done 2. And so they'll have to recast Delgado and Ainley's versions of the master. Not too crazy about that either, but I suppose if it's sort of like a brief story, or and they I don't know, would they try to deep fake their faces onto body doubles? Maybe that would work. I don't know, but I can understand people being upset about it. We had another transgender actor for the Paul McGann audio Big Finish story. So what are at a planet of same-sex couples? Well, the Orville beat you to it, and they probably did it a lot better than you can. Of course, Star Trek has already cast their trans, or is it non-binary? I can't keep up. But they checked the box. So the TARDIS exterior might be changed because it has the word police on it. Now, this was a joke that had been around for a while, but the problem is jokes become prophecy these days. And so I suppose it's possible. But look, the brand of Doctor Who, the TARDIS, is it's the brand, it is the logo. You get rid of that and it's just like, what are you doing? And the whole thing with Black Lives Matter, that's an American ordeal, if you will. I'm not sure why Britain would be that obsessive. And if you're worried about your American audience, don't, because it's already gone. Those heights of Doctor Who being so popular, and I was seeing Doctor Who everywhere here in the States, that's gone. I'm sorry. There's some of us left who still care about it, but oh boy, are we far and few between. So what do I make of these rumors? Well, some of them sound credible and possible. Stands to reason. The bisexual thing, I don't have a problem with. I think that's rather a logical thing that could happen. Storytelling. It's just the problem of setting it up. If it's supposed to be between her and Yaz, they haven't really done enough work there. I suppose they could rush it in and say it's more time, maybe they'll have scenes where Yaz is the one who's more desperate to get the Doctor back and then suddenly realizes, it's because I love her, and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But the other things are just silly, kind of stupid things. The Suntarans, who cares? But I mean, if the story is always about gay sex and stuff like this constantly, it's like, geez, is there anything else? Are you actually going to fight monsters? Hey, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, some of this could be true. Some of it could be exaggerated and kind of a mismatch of things some people have heard and all of that. Fine. The one rumor that this doesn't cover is the idea that they're going to retcon the third and fourth Doctor out of the timeline so they can shoehorn in Joe Martin's Doctor as the true and then Patrick Troughton's Doctor as well would be. That's just incredibly stupid. And if you're putting it as it is an alternate timeline, then she is an alternate Doctor. The best thing possible would be, now that you brought her in, you did this, is that she's a future Doctor. Maybe she's Jodie's future Doctor, and then you have to come up with the story and reason as to why her memories are gone, and she has to rediscover that. If Joe Martin herself is not up to do a full series, seems like, couldn't you negotiate a special of some sort for her Doctor, maybe a couple of episodes, and then you hire your main Doctor to come in and to succeed her, and then the story is sound, and you're back on your footing with it for the narrative. But beyond that, this whole business of retconning and shoehorning Doctors in here and there, that's just stupid and pointless and unnecessary. Unless, of course, you really hate Doctor Who, which I suspect Chibnall really does. The other rumor is that Russell T Davies and Moffat might come in and form a new production company to take the reins of Doctor Who and reboot it to fix this damage. That would be great, but I'm very dubious because it certainly is something that needs to happen. Somewhat outsourced away from BBC controls, and Doctor Who might have a chance to make a comeback. And they have to remember those days when the merchandise of Doctor Who was just bringing in loads of money, and that's not the case now. And you're losing your license fee apparently. So, is there any way you can restore it? That might be one possible solution there to get Doctor Who back on track and all of that. But this business of retconning it and Jodie's Doctor creates all the other Doctors, whatever it's supposed to be. No, that's stupid. That's way worse than any, lesbian romance or anything. That go ahead. I don't care. But, that whole shoehorning and retcon, all this unnecessary crap. It really does come across as if this is Doctor Who is in the hands of people who hate Doctor Who. It's like the people who hate Star Trek now have control of Star Trek. And apparently people who hated Star Wars, and boy, did they, because it's over. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. But anyway, there you go. List of Doctor Who rumors, which may or may not be true, may be somewhat true, somewhat false. All of that possible. And that's that. We shall see, because time will tell. Okay.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.